Good morning.
Morning, Judge.
Are you here for Ms. May?
Yeah, Deborah and Grant, I believe, are on today.
Yes, I don't see them in the waiting room. You're appearing for them?
Correct. I told them they didn't need to appear. We've been working on a diversion agreement with the state, and I think we just got Miss May's. It was either Monday or Tuesday, and Grant is coming into my office later on this week to sign his and pay his diversion fee. And so at this point, I think we're just asking for another continuance on this so they can get their diversion agreements finalized and get those filed.
You have any objection, Ms. Beverlin?
No, that's fine. We've been discussing this case.
Why don't we continue this until the 25th? And that'll give everybody plenty of time. So we don't have to just keep continuing this, and hopefully we'll get that. We'll do a diversion or appear, and it can just fall off if the diversion's filed. So let's set that for 10 a.m. on August 25th. Both these are 2021 CR 57 and 58. All right. Is that all you need on this case?
I believe so, Your Honor.
And I believe that's all you have this morning, isn't it?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. All right. Ms. Beverlin, anything else you need from Mr. Nicolay?
No, I don't. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Right.
Mr. Lynch should be joining us next. I just updated my Zoom and now everything's working slower.
Oh, it just updated on mine yesterday. I haven't noticed that issue.
Maybe it's just the computer. Maybe it's just this old computer.
It's everything that's going on.
Good morning, Mr. Lynch.
Morning, Judge. I won't have anybody in the waiting room this morning.
Okay, good. Well, I was looking. So who do you want to take up first? Just go down the list, Mr. Osborne.
Yes, and Mr. Osborne, well, yeah, that'll work. I talked to Mr. Osborne just a little bit ago. His transportation fell through, so I told him I would call him and have him on speakerphone for this hearing, so he should be by the phone. I'm going to ask to pass it to the 18th so that I can run through the revised offer with him in person prior to that docket, but I'll give him a call now, Judge.
All right. I mean, does he need to appear? I mean, does he need to be here if you're just asking for a continuance, or?
Well, I'll leave that to you and Miss Beverlin. I know he's been appearing by Zoom, but he's had pretty spotty connections.
Yeah, and he's been showing up like after we've been doing it. Ms. Beverlin, do you need to hear from Mr. Osborne?
Maybe. I don't think it'll hurt because we've had a lot of continuances in this. That would just kind of help give me assurance that he's paying attention at least.
Okay. Why don't you give him a call?
And Judge, while we're waiting on the pets cases, those journal entries are drafted. I'll try to get, I'm sorry, they're not done and filed by today, but they're being worked on. So by next week, definitely we'll have it filed if you wanted to just pass those for 1 week.
Okay, yeah, let's continue Mr. Petz's 2 case for 1 week till the 11th.
Thank you.
I figured those were in the works. So we'll do
They
it.
are there, just not filed.
We'll do a check journal entry on 8/11.
Judge, I have Mr. Osborne on speakerphone. I don't know. Sean, can you say hello or something?
Hello?
Can you guys hear him?
We
Yes.
can. And this is case number 2021 CR 21 State versus John Osborne, who appears by phone through Mr. Lynch's office via Zoom. So we've got several things. And Mr. Lynch, so where are we with this case?
Your Honor, I'd ask to pass this to August 18th. I'm not here the 11th. Ms. Beverland's made a slightly revised plea offer that I'd like to run through with Mr. Osborne in person, and I haven't made the arrangements to get him in yet. So that this continuance is on me for not getting him in. I'll set an appointment with him after this meeting and get that done.
All right. Ms. Beverland, do you have any objection?
No, that's fine. We've been discussing this case. Hopefully by the 18th, we'll have a resolution.
All right. So we will continue Mr. Osborne's case until August 18th at 10 a.m. And see where we are.
Okay, thank you, Judge. And
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Osborne.
All right, thank you.
And then you have Mr. Thorne.
Judge, Mr. Thorne was here earlier this morning, and I guess I've gotten kind of used to going last on this docket, so I told him to come back at about 10:30, and that's when we take up his case. In my intention on this case, I've started reviewing the discovery. I need to finish getting through that, discuss that with him, and get copies to him. So I'd probably ask to continue it about 3 weeks to do that. If you want to wait till he's here, I can hang out and let you know when he gets back here.
Well, I was, you had been going last, so I was trying to get you finished early today. Ms. Beverland, do you have any objection to continuing this to the 25th?
No, since we're just doing a status hearing and because he was there, I don't object to that.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and continue this until August 25th at 10 a.m. On Mr. Thorne, and you can tell him when he comes back in at 10:30.
Okay, I will do that, Judge.
And before you leave, where we have to take up Mr. Brock,
Yeah.
which is 2020 CR 138. Preliminary hearing was scheduled for 2 p.m. But I understand, well, I mean, Ms. Beverland's not going to be here. And and I understand that he is unavailable.
Correct, Judge. I'm double checking right now. When I checked this morning, he is still in the Shawnee County Jail, and looks like that's still the case.
Okay. And so do we just want to set this for a docket call in a few weeks and figure out when to set the preliminary hearing? Do we want to reschedule the preliminary hearing?
Well, in this, we have his Kingman County case on tomorrow, and I think the order was if he didn't appear, a bench warrant would be coming out
Well,
there.
yeah, but well, at least we know where he is.
Yeah. So however the court would like to handle these matters, if it wants to grant a continuance, I would appreciate that, but I understand where we're at in these cases.
Ms. Beverland, what's your position?
Judge, I do believe we've got an outstanding motion to revoke his bonds for his non-compliance I'd request to just get a bench warrant out today, revoke the bond. I believe it was a cash bond. I don't care about whether or not we forfeit it, but I'd like to get a warrant out just to make sure we get him here to make some progress. That would be my request.
All right. With Mr. Brock has some challenges, and I think that's probably the best way to get at least into this part of the state is to issue a bench warrant and revoke his bond. I'm not into. I don't think we ought to forfeit it yet, so let's revoke his bond, issue a bench warrant with a $10,000 bond, and see if we can get him here, and then we'll get him over to King. Well, we'll probably do the same thing in Kingman to get him over to Kingman just to get this stuff figured out. So when he gets, that way, when he gets out of jail, he can come to Pratt and get everything done. So I'm gonna order that. And that will take care of Mr. Brock until tomorrow in Kingman.
Yeah, sounds good, Judge.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Ariano.
Good morning, Judge.
And how are we with Mr. Fernando Lopez?
I don't know. Is he here?
I do not I do not see your client. No, he's not in the waiting room. So I'm assuming you haven't heard from him either.
Oh, you're muted.
You're muted again.
He has called and left messages in my office. And I have returned those messages and said, call, schedule a appointment to talk to me over the phone with my legal assistant. And we don't get that done. And he was emailed about this hearing, and I called and left him a message saying, hey, you got to be here for this hearing. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
All right. Ms.
So he's
Beverly,
not,
oh, go ahead.
he's
Go
not
ahead.
disappeared per se, but he travels. He's a windmill guy. So I think we just have difficulty getting together because of that, but that's where we're at.
All right. Ms. Beverland, do you have a position on this?
Well, this was a case, he was arrested, but 48-hour affidavit wasn't on file, so he was released. We issued a summons. I don't think he's appeared in quite some time. I would request a bench warrant. That might get his attention. Of course, if he calls in and wants to appear by Zoom, maybe next Wednesday we can talk about that. But I think for now, I think a bench warrant might be the only way to get his attention to not only appear for this court, but to get in touch with his attorney.
I will object, but I understand.
All right. And and this is a
It's a misdemeanor.
Misdemeanor stalking.
misdemeanor stalking. Okay. I am gonna grant the bench warrant, and put the bond at $2,500, but let us know, Mr. Ariano, if he contacts you, if your client contacts you, and you can tell him there's a bench warrant out, and if he wants to handle this in some other way, we could do that before.
My message to him was it would be likely that he would have a bench warrant if he did not appear by Zoom today, and that if he wants to get in touch with me after that, we might be able to resolve that. So.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll issue, so the bench warrant is issued. You might let him know that that's happening too, and then we'll just see what happens with that.
Very good. And Judge Sirios says to tell you hi.
Okay. Well, thank you.
I'm in his jury room.
Me or Ms. Beverland?
that would be you.
Okay. All right. Well,
I believe he's probably never heard of Ms. Beverland.
Yeah. Tell him I send my regards.
Very good.
All right.
So, thank you.
Thank you. There's Mr. Slinkard. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Do you have a preference whether you'd like to take up Ms. Campbell or Mr. McClure first?
However the court wishes to proceed is fine with me.
Both of them are in the waiting room. Let me bring in Ms. Campbell since she has two cases, and we can start with her. There she is. Good morning, Ms. Campbell. These are cases 2021 CR 41 and 2021 CR 46, State versus Kamisha Campbell. Mr. Slinkard.
Your Honor, I believe the state and I have been attempting to resolve these matters. Tracy, did I send you an email with a proposal, or did I just request a proposal from you?
I'm not sure how it started. I shot you another email this morning. You probably
Okay.
haven't had a chance to look at it.
No, I haven't.
I anticipated we probably just need to pass this a little bit to see if we can get it resolved, or if maybe next time, if it's not, we just set a prelim.
That seems a reasonable course of conduct, Your Honor.
What would you like as the continuance?
Are you available in 2 weeks, Bob? You think?
So that would be the 18th. I do have to be in Kingman County District Court in the morning, but if judge pushes me to the heel of the docket, I should be able to log on.
I mean, we could go to the 25th if that's easier, but I was going to suggest 2 or 3 weeks to see if we can get it worked out.
Well, the 25th is the guardian ad litem training, so the 18th would probably work better.
All right. So we will continue these cases until 10 a.m. on August 18th. And Ms. Campbell, maybe we can get this worked out by then. If not, we'll set you for a preliminary hearing and deal with it that way. All right. Well,
Thank
thank
you,
you very
Judge.
much. Next, we've got Mr. McClure. All right, and this is 2021 CR 19 State versus Simon McClure. Mr. Slinkard.
Thank you, Your Honor. I did discuss a matter with the state. Did you send me a response on that one this morning?
No, I'm sorry. This one got lost in the shuffle. I'll get a response right away to you when we're done with docket. I don't know if you just want to go 1 week, so we're not going too far out, or if you want to go 25th again.
We can't do it on the
Well,
25th.
Or on the 18th again. I'm
The
sorry.
18th would be fine. That'll give us a little more time to firm everything up.
Okay, is that gonna interfere with your Docket and Kingman, or are you gonna be able to get this done?
I don't think it'll interfere, Your Honor. I'm sure that if I have to step out and handle these matters, Judge will allow me to do that. So,
Okay. So, okay, so Mr. McClure will set this for August 18th at 10 a.m. Hopefully, we'll be close to getting this resolved by then.
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay,
All right. Have a good day.
all right. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Mr. Slinkard, I believe that's all I have for you.
it is, Your Honor. Thank you. Have a
Right.
good rest of your morning.
You do too. Thank you.
Thank you.
You want to send Ms. Cummins in? Good morning.
Morning, Your Honor.
I have, we'll take up Ms. Cummins first. I have her here in person,
Oh, okay.
I think. I had heard that she was here in person, so. All right, and this is 2021 CR 50 State versus Gay Cummins. Ms. Beverland's here for the state. Mr. Howard is here for Ms. Cummins, who also appears in person at the Pratt County Courthouse. So, Mr. Howard, where are we with this case?
Your Honor, in this matter, we had an agreement for Miss Cummins to attend a anger management course. She got signed up for that, but had some issues getting that done. So my understanding is she signed up for another one. Miss Cummins, I believe the next one you signed up for is the 17th. Is that correct?
21st. The 21st.
So I would just ask,
I'm going to repeat because I don't know if you can hear her or not. So. Yes, so the 21st.
okay, Your Honor, I would just ask to set this out past the 21st, then maybe to the 25th then. We should have the anger management course completed by then and should be able to get this wrapped up.
Okay, I've also been informed that she's also paid her court costs.
Okay.
In this matter. Ms. Beverland, do you have any objection to continuing this?
Nope, that's fine. That's what we've discussed. Thank you.
Okay, and I'm sorry, did you say, because I was being informed about the court costs, you say the 25th?
Yes, or thereafter. Just she's not going to have the anger management completed until the 21st. So.
Okay, why don't we do this? Why don't we schedule this for the 1st of September? And that'll give her another week to make sure. And then if you have paperwork you need to file, you could get this all taken care of.
That sounds good, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll set this for 10 a.m. on September 1st, Ms. Cummins. And if you can get this all worked out, keep in touch with your attorney, attend your anger management course, and get all the documentation that your attorney needs, and you might be able to get this all taken care of and not have to come back on the 1st. But if you don't hear anything different, come back just like you did today.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, and you're finished. Thank you. You do too. All right, next we've got Mr. Kaufman in the waiting room. All right. Mr. Kaufman, can you hear us?
Mr. Kaufman, can you hear us? Can you?
Almost looks like he's in an airplane or
I
something.
was gonna say, is he flying an airplane or,
I don't believe so. I can see trees out the window.
okay.
Mr. Kaufman, have you connected to audio?
Is your speaker on? Can you hear us now? Can you hear us now? Does he need to hear us?
Probably, Your Honor. I think it's our
Okay, he's gonna come
intention-
back. He's gonna come back in.
Your Honor, we may, I guess, I'm not sure if we're not going to be able to get this, if it's not going to be able to get working. It is my understanding our intention today is to go ahead and enter a not guilty plea and set this matter for a jury trial. May just need to, I guess, put this down in front of Judge Meisenheimer to take up then if we can't get the audio to work.
You had filed the motion for immunity. Are you wanting to take that up first here with Judge Sylvester, since that would be dispositive for one of the counts?
I think it would just make sense to take it all up with the district judge for all of the stuff, everything in there would be my thought process.
Yeah, that would probably help Judge Meisenheimer too, if he's going to be doing the jury trial. So why don't we you want to just go and set this on Judge Meisenheimer's next docket?
We could do that. That may be the easiest way to handle this since we can't seem to get the Zoom going.
The next one is the 9th. Just make sure you get your request for jury trial filed before that. Otherwise, you can set it on the August 23rd docket.
So you want to go ahead and set it on the 9th?
Either one would work for me, Your Honor. Do we know what the 9th is looking like? Is it already filled up? That's the only concern I would have.
There's stuff on it, and I guess if you
I was told that to do the 23rd.
is 23rd, and that would be
Right.
better, particularly if we're scheduling something for me. I've got 3 kids in quarantine, and so long as I don't exhibit any symptoms, I'm good to be in court on the 9th, but that may change. So
That may change. Let's go to the 23rd and set it for 10 a.m. on August 23rd.
Okay.
And hold on, Mr. Kaufman's back. We can tell him if he can.
That's a good sign. If it's connecting to audio.
He just has to push the button. There it is. Can you hear us now?
You're muted.
Can you hear me now?
We
Yeah.
can.
Awesome. Wow. Sorry for my ignorance.
It's okay. So, Mr. Kaufman, what has happened in the meantime is that we have your attorney is requesting a jury trial. We have set this at 10 a.m. on August 23rd before Judge Meisenheimer, who will then schedule your jury trial.
Okay.
Okay. So, and that will be, and they're holding those in person. And so you'll have to be at the Pratt County Courthouse at 10 a.m. on August 23rd.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
But we managed to get everything taken care of. And now you know a little bit more better how to use Zoom.
Yeah, it's well, it didn't really. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Is that it?
Yeah. Do you need anything further from Mr. Kaufman while we have him here?
I don't believe so. I think so. The intention will just take up the actual arraignment and entry of plea of not guilty at that time, and we'll go ahead and get things scheduled. I'll get my request for jury trial scheduled filed prior to that.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Have a good week.
And then we have Mr. Bauer in the waiting room.
Oh, okay.
And Mr. Bauer, can you hear us? If you can, give us a thumbs up.
Seth, can you hear us?
I don't think he connected to audio. Oh, there he is. Okay, now we got the check mark. Mr. Bauer, can you hear us?
You're muted.
Is that good?
Yeah.
All right, and you can hear us?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is case number 2021 CR 49, State of Kansas versus Seth Bauer. And we're on for arraignment. Is that correct, Mr. Howard?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so how would you like to proceed?
Your Honor, in this matter, the parties have reached an agreement whereby the defendant will enter a plea of other than not guilty to count one. Count two will be dismissed. Parties would then recommend a 12-month underlying, 12 months suspended, and 12-month underlying with all but 3 days suspended, and 12 months of probation with court services. As a condition of that probation, the defendant be required to obtain a drug and alcohol evaluation, follow the recommendations thereof, would need to attend an anger management course and do 40 hours community service. Additionally, he would be required to write an apology letter to the victims in this matter. That would be for, additionally, the defendant would have court costs of $158, $45 booking fee, and a $6 probation fee, and $150 of attorney's fees. Your Honor, it's my understanding the state wishes to set out sentencing for the notice to the victims. Anyway, set up sentencing. Your Honor, further, it'd be my understanding of the recommendation that the defendant would be permitted some time to get those 3 days scheduled to be served, that he could schedule those with his probation officer.
All right. And Ms. Beverlin, is that your understanding?
Yes, Judge, for as far as the plea agreement, as far as the sentencing, we did have one victim call in with a new address. I just wanted to make sure that I'm not in the office right now. I've been talking to my secretary, but I just wanted to make sure they had adequate notice for this case for the sentencing. If we could just get another date for that to make sure that that's been provided.
Okay. And all right. Mr. Bauer, your attorney has indicated that you would like to enter a plea in this matter that is a plea other than not guilty. And is that your intention today?
Just no contest.
Okay. And before we get to that, just want to go over a few things. You have the right to have a trial on this matter, and if you enter a plea other than not guilty today, you'll be giving up that right to a trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And if you enter a plea of either guilty or no contest, it basically ends up the same way. I will find you guilty of this charge, just as if you'd had a trial and a jury had found you guilty. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
And do you has anybody made any promises or threats beyond the plea agreement to get you to give up your rights and enter a plea today?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. And are you under the influence today of any drugs, alcohol, prescription drugs, or anything that might impair you from understanding what's going on in court today?
No, sir.
And do you understand that this plea agreement that you are looking at is an agreement between you and the state of Kansas, and the court doesn't play any role in that? And if I wanted to, on this count one, endangerment, it's a Class A misdemeanor, and I could sentence you to anything allowable under the law, which in a Class A misdemeanor is a year in the county jail and a fine of up to $2,500. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
And you understand by giving up your rights to a trial, you're also giving up your rights to to appeal certain issues that might come up at trial, although you would still be able to appeal the sentence. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
And have you been satisfied with Mr. Howard's representation of you?
Yeah.
And have you
Yes,
been
sir.
satisfied with the way you've been treated when you've come to court?
Yes.
And with all that, how do you plead to count one, endangerment?
No contest.
All right. And is there a factual basis for the no contest plea?
Does counsel stipulate that the probable cause affidavit supports factual basis?
Mr. Bauer, do you have any objection to that?
I didn't hear what she said.
The prosecutor has asked whether we would stipulate that the probable cause affidavit would provide a sufficient factual basis.
Basically, I would just take judicial notice of the probable cause affidavit as the factual basis for this plea.
Okay.
Or do you want the prosecutor to go over all the facts of the case?
No, I don't think she needs to.
Okay. Okay, so I will take notice of the probable cause affidavit as it pertains to the count one of endangerment. Mr. Bauer, I will find that your plea is made knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently, and I will find you guilty of count one, endangerment, under KSA 215429 subsection A, and I will dismiss count two, possession of a firearm under the influence. And when would you like to set sentencing, Ms. Beverland?
Is that the? No, my bad.
Is Shay, are you and your client available next Wednesday, or is there another date that would work for you guys?
I am not available next Wednesday.
How about the 18th?
I can be available then.
Ms. Beverland, does 18th give you enough?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so Mr. Bauer, we will set your sentencing for August 18th at 10 a.m. And if you'll return at that time, we can get this taken care of, and then we will decide your sentence at that time.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Mr. Howard, anything further with Mr. Bauer today?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Anything further from the state?
No, thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
I believe that's all I have on today, Your Honor.
I believe that's all you have here. Do you have a one at 11?
Not that I show.
Okay.
Mr. Fye's on the docket. Do you know why?
Mr. Fye was on the docket.
I
knew there was something.
I think we're just set for his prelim day, right? On the 18th?
Yeah, that was my understanding.
Okay, so he's having a prelim on the 18th, so we can take him off. Was there any?
I think the issue kind of that we're addressing right now regarding Mr. Fye was just the situation regarding whether the court would permit him to be released to be transported directly to treatment on September 7th. But
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, I thought we would just readdress that after the prelim if we have it or if we've got it worked out.
yeah, that's my understanding. So that,
Okay. We'll just take all that up on the 18th then.
okay.
Okay, thank you very much. And
Thank you.
that leaves us with only one person at 11, so. Thank you.